This podcast contains adult language and crude humor. Listener discretion is advised.
Shout out to my awesome wife, Shay, right? So she does not get WoW at all. I got her to play it for like 10 minutes. She thought it was stupid, and she never wants to play it again. But shout out to her because she gave me this hella awesome anniversary present, or maybe it was Father's Day. I don't know. We're recording on Father's Day, but our anniversary is in like 2 days, so it could be either or. It's a fucking high-quality Horde wallet from the fucking gear store. Hell yeah. I just wanted to share that and publicly declare how awesome she is for supporting my hobbies, even though she doesn't like them. There, I was wholesome. Are you fucking happy?
Thrall's balls! They're everywhere!
Thrall's Balls, the World of Warcraft podcast with a dirty mind and a clean behind. Hosted by Boomy Nation, Craig, Gershom, Johnny Tips, and Wooly. Oh, what's up, swingaz? Yes, indeed. Happy birthday to all the good fathers out there, and to all of you who are technically biological fathers and don't do a fucking thing for your kids. Go fuck yourself. You don't get to sit here and say Dad of the Year. You're a piece of shit, and you should feel like a piece of shit. Be there for your kids. It's not fucking hard. Anyway, from the TBHQ in the grizzly lands of Wisconsin, welcome to Thrall's Balls, episode 188. I'm Wooly, the spooky ookie, some kind of elf shadow priest. Here with me is Gershom, the sassy-ass troll beast mastery hunter, except I just kind of read that from the notes, forgot for a second that she has met with an unfortunate schmelting accident with her microphone. No, this isn't Goldmember. Her microphone, the part where you plug it into the computer, just like snapped like moments ago. Fuck you, you're not my real dad. But anyway, she is here in her mic got schlepped, as Johnny puts it. She is here in the chat listening to us, having some fun, although she is not able to speak. But she is here. She is here. We also have Johnny Tips, the proud Dark Iron Diabolist Warlock. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
Doing all right. You want to hear a joke?
I mean, yeah, the doy.
I bet you would, but I don't have one.
Do you have one?
Here's a joke. Let me make one up on the spot, all right? Okay, so I may have even done this on the show before. So, there is this big, beefy orc, and he goes into the bar at Orgrimmar, and he sits down at the bar, and he sees this giant jar of cash, and he's like, hey, bartender, what's up with the giant jar of cash? And the bartender's like, well, there's 3 simple tasks that you can do, and you'll win this jar of cash. Only nobody has ever been able to do all 3. And the orc is like, well, that sounds simple. What are they? Bartender's like, well, first one, you see that huge Moknathal at the end of the bar? You gotta knock him out. Then, you gotta go upstairs, and there is this sweet old lady who hasn't felt the touch of a man in decades. All she wants to do before her days end is feel the orgasmic touch of a beefy cock. You have to give her the night of her life. The orc's like, okay, a little uncomfortable, but I can do it, it's money. What's the third thing? And the bartender's like, well, out back, there is a very ornery crocolisk who's even more ornery because he got all them teeth, but no toothbrush. No, he's ornery because he has a bad tooth that really needs to be yanked out. So there you go. Knock that Moknathal out, fuck the old lady, and rip the rotten tooth out of the crocolisk. And the orc's like, huh, I could fucking do that. So he stands up, he goes to the end of the bar, he's like, hey, Moknathal, we don't take kindly to your type around here. Moknathal stands up, the orc punches him in the face, knocks him out in one punch, which, by the way, wouldn't happen because Moknathal are just stronger than orcs. They just are. Go fuck yourself if you disagree. Anyway, he knocks out the Moknathal, in one punch. Then he nods to the bartender nods back, and he goes out the back door. there's a fair amount of screaming and roaring that can be heard, as well as the tearing of flesh, the gnashing of teeth, a splash here or there as the orc wrestles this crocolisk in the water. Then he comes back in, and he is just covered in blood and bruises and mud, and he goes, okay, where's that old lady with the bad tooth? Cause he was fucking the crocolisk. You may have heard that joke before. I adapted it on the fly.
That's a case of did not read directions at the IKEA table directions.
So yeah, look, he didn't get the money out of the jar. Gershom just said in our host chat that she's never heard that joke. I've heard it in several different places in my life, but it's always spaced like years apart. It's a classic. Anyway, what'd we do in WoW this week? Johnny, what'd you do in WoW?
Not much, bro. I literally just checked my vault, ran a bunch of old raids, and logged off. That's literally all I did this week. Mostly because I discovered Cyberpunk 2077 and been playing the ever-loving fuck out of that game. I think I have like 40 hours already in that game. I've only played since the weekend started. So
damn,
I've been putting some time in. I've been putting some hours in. I'm like, I spent 3 hours just riding the fucking subway, just chilling. It's so fucking immersive. I cannot tell you, like... Now, I have one gripe. There's a couple little glitches in the game that are still there, but they're, like, not that bad.
Do they involve fucking a crocolisk?
No, it involves... you know how in delves or dungeons sometimes, if you, like, jump a certain way, if you, you'll randomly fall through nothingness?
Yep,
you ever had that?
I have a story about that.
There's a couple of places with the way the game renders when you're driving a vehicle in the game, where sometimes you'll just drive into nothingness, and it'll just go back to your last quick save, you know? So, but that's the only major glitch I've found. Everything else was like either user error or something that wasn't worth. It lasted less than 5 seconds, you know, the error.
Here's a question for you involving glitches and dying and shit. In any video game, have you ever gotten your save, I guess you could say, completely fucked by bad menuing?
Yes, but not in the way you're thinking.
I have. Well, the way I'm thinking is like, oh shit, I fell off this building, I'm about to die, I better load my last save. Except you hit save instead of load and you're fucked.
So story time, short story. Growing up, I grew up in the age of like Sega, PlayStation, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, like pre Dreamcast, okay? Like Dreamcast was like, Sega, like a Sega Saturn, right, old Sega, pretty much anything after Atari. So like Nintendo, original, Game Boy, on, right? So we had a PlayStation, and that was like our main console. The original PlayStation was like our main console for a decade. Okay, we couldn't afford anything else. It was like that was our one main console, right? So, our memory ports didn't work.
Oh no.
So imagine trying to play like Crash Bandicoot or Resident Evil, or so my brother, I would watch him play Resident Evil, and sometimes we would take turns, or if we were playing together, we would play like Twisted Metal, or like Crash Bandicoot or Spyro, or any of those other games back in the day. We would have to one-shot the game the whole way through, on one playthrough.
Or you could just leave that shit on overnight.
That's what we would do. So what we would do is on Friday night, the boys would come over for like a sleepover when we were like 12 to 10, like 9 to 12, okay? Like 4th to like 7th grade or so, right? sleepover, right? Party at our place, you know. And what we would do is that we would take turns with lives, right? Every time you die, you swap the controller over, right? And then whoever was the last one awake, their task was to hide the controller somewhere that was not going to get touched by anything, pause the game, right, and then turn the screen off of the TV and leave it running for a couple hours till whoever the first one fell asleep, woke up, or whoever would wake up first. And that was kind of our weekend thing that we did, you know. That was like when the boys coming over, you know, we're gonna
support it,
guys.
That's got big 90s naughties energy. I like it.
100. Yeah, that was. But my brother got so good, he got to the point where he can one sitting beat all of Resident Evil 2 in like a single sitting. In like, what, 6 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, like maybe a little longer than that. My brother was speedrunning before there was speedrunning. Like, that was, like, I guess there was back then, but the internet was different back then. You had to like record, you'd have to like have a video or a save file or whatever, a screenshot of something, you know. It wasn't that big back then.
People using fucking fraps, and it was garbage.
Before fraps, I'm talking like Windows 98, bro.
Oh, bro.
I'm talking like 1998, 99,
screenshots
2001,
of Doom, bro.
Like early shit. WoW wasn't even a thing yet.
Doom.
There was no WoW. There was Warcraft 3, Frozen Throne or whatever. Like that was like the StarCraft's Brood War was still a thing, right? Like that was. I'm talking ancient time, like.
I'm sorry, I stopped paying attention. You said StarCraft and I immediately started thinking Kerrigan Rule 34. My bad.
I mean,
it's
like everyone. You're not lying. You're not lying, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
but that's
anyway,
all. What you do this week? What you do this week?
Yeah,
What's
to
going
bring
on?
it back a bit. Honestly, we went back and we did a rekill of Gallywix for people who missed it, and then I have put my druid to the side, unless, of course, I decide to finish out the season of Delves with him, but I don't think I will, since we don't even know what the next patch holds. We just have this vague idea of ethereals or whatever.
If they even do that, who knows what they're gonna do? Who knows?
My cat is fucking pissing me off. Anyway, so I didn't get a vault because it was one boss. You know, you don't get a vault item from one boss. But I don't care because my druid is done for the season. Mainly, I have been leveling Canthus, my void elf shadow priest. He is 62 now, I want to say, over on Proudmoore, and I've been I've sort of been having an identity crisis as far as Horde and Alliance. Like, I am famously bifactional. Like, famously bifactual. And by famously, I mean I say it every now and then people are like, who the fuck said that? Who is this guy?
Can't choose a team, bro. Can't choose a team.
Right. But anyway, so I am actually trying to decide if I want to finish... if I want, moving in the direction of the Shadow Priest is already cemented. That's what I'm doing. I may not even be raiding next tier, but I'm going to be playing a Shadow Priest. It's a matter of deciding if I want to play Canthus, the Void Elf, or Zipties, the Blood Elf. And it's a harder decision than you might think, because obviously Horde, right? Because for the Horde, my wallet is Horde. But also, I fucking love Void Elves. And I fucking love Proudmoore. And the community on Proudmoore is by and large Alliance. You're not going to get that debate and trade chat on Horde side. So it's a tough choice to make. It really is. I don't know. By next episode, I will have decided if I'm going Void or Blood. So, yeah. Either Zipties or Canthus.
Paul. Hey,
no one's gonna answer the poll. We get like, bro, we get like 30 listens an episode. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to the show. But we get like 30 listens an episode. And as a listener of other podcasts, if somebody asks me to do a poll, unless I know the people doing the podcast, I'm not likely to do the poll. So, sorry.
True.
Anyway, besides, I should let the wheel decide.
Yeah, there we go.
Live on this episode, I will let the wheel decide.
The wheel.
Oh my God, I am going to do this. I'm going to make a wheel on my phone
like the claw
while we're talking. No, this is actually pre-Johnny, pre-Boomy times. It was after such and such raid tier. I think it was after Amir Drasil finished. We were gonna go through and do like a mixed up random ass run with my guild where we all got in a channel one night and the wheel decided who played what spec, and that was actually where zip ties came from because I got Disc Priest. So that is what I am going to set up. Wheel decide.
Wheeling these nuts. If you want to hear more, go to thrallsballs.com and see what the results are. If you didn't listen to the episode yet, there you go.
I can't actually put... I'm not actually putting this on the website because the website is literally just a link tree.
Or our Discord you can find on thrallsballs.com.
Yeah. Go to our Discord, thrallsballs.com. Our link tree will have the Discord. So, choices. Void. Blood. And how many fucking times do I have to re-add this? Void.
It's gonna be big pulsing blood red letters. Big, and I can have blue letters for the other one. Or purple letters.
See, I can't believe how hard this decision is.
Void, like, blood, void, and blood. And
I love void elves, and I will forever maintain that Velf's rule slide drools. It's just a fact. Dude, that is a great album name, now that you mention it. Void and Blood.
Dude, yes.
All right, I play guitar. I'm going to come up with some badass songs for that album. Anyway, I will maintain that a Void Elf is a very, very legitimate race to play. People say, well, isn't that just a class? The fuck it is. Look at Illyria. She is a hunter and a Void Elf. Look at Umbric. He is a Void Elf, a mage, and a whiny little bitch. Come on. You don't have to be a Shadow Priest or an Affliction Warlock to embody the Void Elf lifestyle. Void. Blood. All right. It is loading the wheel. It says, can't decide, wheel decide for you. And it landed on... It's loading very slowly. I'm actually disappointed. I'm surprised I'm disappointed. It landed on Blood. So, Blood Elf it is. I'm not disappointed. Zip Ties returns. The king of bullshit himself, Zip Ties, has returned to the fray.
Now
for
remember,
those of you who may
don't
not
cut
heard,
off the extra end on the zip ties, okay?
End.
You gotta put bracers on that shit, bro. You make sure you're wearing bracers, and it looks like zip ties, like little black bands around your wrist.
Dude, I need to do that. Also, his name, I've said this on several episodes, his name, as far as my headcanon goes, is Ziphthias, but the same goblin who made fun of Mokan and called him Mokanips made fun of Ziphthias, and now he's called Zip Ties. Alright, Zip Ties Rising. Dude, you know what? Episode title, Void and Blood. Alrighty, well, honestly, that was really all I did in WoW this week, was like, I leveled the shit out of Canthus. I, re-cleared Galley. That's it.
Man, are we ready for the drink of the week? Fuck yeah?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Sorry, I was putting something in host
Fuck
chat.
yeah.
My bad. All right, let's go move on to the mixed drink of the week.
It's time for the mixed drink of the week. Fuck yeah!
It's time for the mixed drink of the week, and before we get into it, I just want to remind everybody to please only partake of the mixed drink of the week, or any alcohol for that matter, if you are of legal age or legal whatever to do so. Furthermore, we are not responsible for any stupid shit that may befall you as a result of your own stupid shit.
Don't do stupid shit,
So,
guys.
we have been making drinks out of elements of the current patch, and we are up to me this week. I declared last week that I was breaking the norm a little bit, and the drink I have this week is actually a Dastardly Duo. It's 2 drinks mixed into one. I gave you a hint last week, I believe, that one of them is a shot that gets dropped into the drink. Do you? Oh, and like, it's not just Dastardly Duos. The shot portion is the horrific vision of Orgrimmar. The drink side of it is can of amps. So, do me a favor, Johnny, and declare your guess as we go.
Yes. So my guess is you have a shot glass and a pint glass. Okay, like a larger pint glass. And you're going to do half the shot glass with Jaeger and Red Bull, okay? And then the can of amps is specifically Dogfish Head beer. And what you do is that you fill the shot, right, with the 2 ingredients and give a little swish. You put the pint glass over top of that, and you like lift it up to the bottom of the glass and flip it back over, so it creates a seal around the bottom of the pint glass with the shot. So it's like still in the shot glass, but it's like upside down in the pint glass at the bottom, okay? And then you pour in your beer, and you yank out the shot as you finish pouring the beer, and then you chug it out of the pint glass. That's my guess.
You're sort of close-ish. So I'm gonna break this down a little bit because I did have to make a substitution in the drink. The original idea here is the horrific vision of Orgrimmar. I was basically taking the Orgrimmar drink from way back in the day. I believe Bentolis did it. It was a shot, and it was half a shot of amaretto. I forget what the rest of it was, but I took that, and with his, actually, he had a little bit of 151 in it, so you could light it on fire, and you blow it out and you shoot it. I altered the Orgrimmar to be the horrific vision of Orgrimmar. I kept the half a shot amaretto, but I made the other half of the shot kraken, because, you know, kraken, void, horrific vision. And because I don't have any 151, I said, well, put a small amount of Everclear on top and light that on fire. So, to enjoy that as its own drink, as in not part of the Dastardly Duos thing I'm doing, you would light the shot and drop it into a drink that is half grape soda, half red Gatorade, 1 shot of vodka. That is the horrific vision of Orgrimmar as it stands on its own. Let's move over to the can of amps, which is actually pretty simple. It's half Orange Monster, half hard Arnold Palmer. In this case, it is a twisted tea instead. And you put a small amount of Everclear on top of the drink, light it, blow it out, drink it. Because I was thinking can of amps, you look at the picture of it, it's clearly a goblin product, so of course it's going to be on fire. However, to combine these two, you take the shot portion from the horrific vision of Orgrimmar, you light that, and you drop it into the can of amps instead. Now, I will say, I attempted just now to light these with a little bit of Everclear on top, but it didn't go through. So I am just skipping that portion. Unfortunately, the substitution I had to make here is instead of half a shot amaretto, because I could not find amaretto syrup to save my fucking life, I just put a little bit of pure almond extract. So that... it's not quite the same, but it's close enough. IMHO. So, Johnny, Gersham's not here. I'm not gonna send myself off.
I got you.
Send me off, bro.
Over the lips, through the gums, look out, asshole!
And I dropped the shot into the drink. And I'm not gonna chug it. You don't chug this. This isn't a chug.
No, not that drink. No.
All right. That is the horrific vision of Orgrimmar, the can of amps, and the two together as the... What's that called? Dastardly Duos. 1 second here.
We are experiencing technical difficulties, motherfucker.
Alright, I don't remember what the last thing I said was because we had to take care of some kind of technical trouble there. But that was the drink of the week. I'm not going to re-declare all of it. Just go back and listen. Next week is Gershom, and she will be with a new microphone next week because I sent her one, which is awesome. So we don't know yet what her mixed drink of the week is going to be. It's going to be a surprise, and I'm excited. Let's actually do a question of the week here, shall we? Shall we?
Yeah, of course.
Shall we?
The fuck?
Question. The week.
All right, so we sort of had a question of the week fall out of our asses last week. Well, we wanted to know, what story do you want to see as a quest line with Lore Walker Cho's lore walking? I'm not gonna lie, we didn't get a lot of responses, but that is okay. That is okay because we value the responses we did get, and we respect that everybody has, shit they got going on. Who is going to pull over while listening to a podcast while driving to answer a question? But the question we got from Aaron, and this confused the shit out of me because I had no idea what this was referencing. He said, the day that Zhang Zia, or if I said that right, decided to finally let go of his college persona, Master Bader, and start going by his Pantheon-given name. Am I right in assuming that that is a change that Blizzard made somewhere around the titty fruit period?
Possibly, but I think it might have been earlier in next. It was in Mr. Pandaria, this mob.
I mean, maybe they changed the... I'm not finishing this drink. Holy fuck, that's strong. It's a good drink, but I'm not finishing it. Jesus Christ.
He's a little the Pandarian dude over in the Krasarang Wilds down there by the fishing rep folks.
Is that the kind of blue, gray, green zone? Or am I thinking
It's the furthest south. No, it's the jungle zone where you got the random temple where they turn to stone and there's Mogu there and there's
okay, so not the one with all the bugs.
No, this is the one with all the I want to say you have the really cool quest line with I want to say Anduin's in there too, and you follow this. There's another one where you follow you do the whole
cool quest line or Anduin. Pick one. I'm kidding.
Well, no, it's I just remember there was a cool quest line near the end on the far west side of the zone where it was a Rocky mantra where you would learn karate. It was Karate Kid style. You had to do a little contest with the guy and you train with him to learn how to fight the Pandarian do a little bit. And it's and it's a bunch of little cute quest lines like that. And there's some really cool ones with random artifacts and archaeological artifacts around that you find. You have to go kill a Mogu down there, I think. And
now I remember killing a bunch of Mogu that aren't living Mogu. They're still terracotta.
Yeah, and there's it's like a dig site area down in there.
A dig site.
Dig, D-I-G. Dig.
Oh, with a G. Okay. You're on thin ice, buddy.
It's all good. And also, it's also where they did the 5.1 patch, where it's really PvP oriented, where it's you had to defeat that not the world boss, but it was like a world boss, but it was a PvP world boss you'd go and kill once a week to get some sort of token or something like that.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not play a whole ton of Mists. Like my,
Did you
I've
play
said on the
Remix at
show
all?
before. No, I didn't. My during OG Mop, my guild died like almost immediately because everybody was getting butthurt about Kung Fu Panda. Grow the fuck up. It's not Kung Fu Panda. They've been around since fucking Warcraft 3. Get over it. But my guild died. I had nobody to play with, so I just kind of stopped playing for a while after I got my Cloud Serpent. And quite honestly, I didn't come back until the end of Warlords, so there are 2 big chunks I missed there. So because of that, I think I'm going to actually play Pandaland Classic, and if they make one, Draenor Classic, because I feel like I missed out on stuff.
Operation Shield Wall and the Dominance Offensive were like the reps you had to work with. And that was like when the whole Alliance and Horde was kind of heating up throughout Pandaria in that expansion. And there was trying to remember what the heck it was.
I feel like it's kind of a lame end to the heating up of that expansion, though, because they just took Garrosh out of power, and then everybody was like, well, okay, I guess we're done fighting. Never mind that Varian had the arrogance to be like, if you bring the Horde to somewhere without honor, we will dismantle you, as if you have the fucking authority.
Dude, you don't know, because
fucking
Gina, it was really Gina, because
bitch.
this was also the time frame where Gina went fucking crazy for Cocoa Puffs, and I think she obliterated a city. I'm pretty sure, if I remember, she like burned a city down. I don't remember what it was.
In addition to kicking all the Blood Elves out of Dalaran and murdering a lot of them?
Yes, there was the Dalaran one, but there was somewhere else she went to as well.
I don't know. Like, there's a reason people don't like Jaina, and it's all of that stuff. I love Jaina.
It was
I hate
crazy.
That she did that.
And then there was also the whole Vol'jin storyline build up and all the scenarios. And there was like an assassination attempt, and there's a bunch of other shit that was going on. And then there's the whole like pushback against Garrosh in that like second to last patch.
That is my answer for the question. That's my answer for the question of the week.
Hello everyone. Please enjoy this text-to-speech insert. We had a couple answers submitted after recording but before release, so here they are, added in all their computer voice glory. Why computer voice? Because Wooly's laundry is running right now and recording would sound fucking awful. Denethar said, I would love to see the War of the Shifting Sands. I'm sure we could get some juicy Titan versus Old God drama from that. Plus, I love Night Elves and Dragons. Johnny responded by saying, do a prologue with the Tolvir building Ankh-Kiraj and them using the Forge of Re-Origination in Uldum against the Thunder King after he shows the Tolvir abusing Titan Keeper Ra's powers. Then have it show Fandral Staghelm and Volston dying. It'd be an emotional roller coaster for people. Gershom also responded by saying, honestly just seeing that Baston story when you tell it to the baby dragons is sad enough lol. Drastio said, damn think I'm late. I want to see Cho explain the jailer and get a good rap on all his dealings, plots and shit he did to our Toon's afterlife.
That is my answer for the question. That's my answer for the question of the week. I want a lore-walking questline that follows specifically the struggle Vol'jin had in Cataclysm, where he was even considering having the Darkspear leave the Horde. I want a questline that fleshes that out, that brings in Garrosh, brings in him talking to Thrall like, dude, this guy you left in charge is a fuck dick. I want that for lore walking. That's what I want. What do you want? What's your answer?
My answer, besides Quanjara, I want one about Dire Maul, Desolace, and the origin of the Centaurs, the Torrid Wars. That would be really fucking cool to me. The other option would be the betrayal of Alterac in the Second War. And And that whole lead up, and like, or you can do a troll story from Zuldazar and do like do you remember in Legion how they had like the old war, like the War of the Ancients, like where you play as the characters.
Holm High Mountain, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of them. There was another couple too that were like in some of the zones that you could do. I forget which ones they were, but there was a couple of those. And there was another one in WoD too. You played the bird person. Remember in WoD you played at that bird god person? I forget their name.
Skyreach?
Yeah,
I don't
before it was the lead up to Skyreach, there was that bird god you played as.
I don't know. God, what was that fucker's name? You kill him in a dungeon, right? And he's got that like green line coming out of his butt.
I believe so. Or like some sort of like high priestess of that one. But
something like that.
Maybe it was the world boss, maybe? I forget. But yeah, those are stories I would like. But I started thinking about it some more because I feel like I remember that idea I had for those lore walking ones where they were going to do more storylines. I heard somewhere there's going to be 36 of them.
I heard the same, and I hope they don't stop there.
I hope that's just lot. That sounds awesome.
I hope that's just these are the ideas we have.
Yeah.
To read out what Gershom said here, a couple things, because she was ruffle stomped by the technology boss today. She says, I think more lore walking needs to hit more things that folks don't know. Like, why is Bane in charge now? Maybe some don't know about Magatha Grimtotem killing his dad and all that. And I can hear some of you out there being like, no, Garrosh killed Cairn.
No, it was
and
Magatha.
No, that was because fucking Grimtotem fucking poisoned Gorehowl, and that is so fucked up that Garrosh, of all people, thought it was fucked up. Think about that for a second. He was mad. I'm surprised he didn't kill Grimtotem over it. He should have.
I think she like scurried away or got away somehow, I think. Like,
she is a fucking rat. Magatha Grimtotem is a fucking rat, and we need to deal with her. There are plenty of Grimtotems still in the Horde. They need to that's what we need. We need a lore walking line that deals with her.
So, Thousand Needles. So, straight up, real talk, I purposely, in Season of Discovery, I played all of Thousand Needles just so I can go and kill Grimtotems.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's a reason.
Because I despised them so much because I was so mad about that, and I was like, I got my chance.
There is a reason that when I played my druid this last tier that I didn't make his Tauren ass black fur, because that's all Grimtotem-y. He's not a Grimtotem. He has honor. Also, Gershom said she wants a Rexar questline, and I can totally get behind that.
Yes, please. I mean,
hell yeah.
Like in Faralos, more of that, please, or anything in WoD, like all that shit, dude. Go, do it.
I do think it's awesome that they're giving us one about the Ethereals, even though, of course, they're giving us one about the Ethereals because they've been making it painfully obvious that Koresh might be where we go next patch, but let's wait and see. Watch, this episode will come out on Tuesday, and Blizzard will announce the patch the same day. That is the life of the content creator. Well, I suppose we can move on ahead to the WoW news now.
Well,
shall we?
Want to see how wide my butthole goes?
Time for WoW news, motherfuckers.
Alright, so first up on the docket here is some information about that assisted rotation UI changes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it might ring another bell as people calling it the one-button macro or whatever, you know, the whole overreaction thing that people are doing. Essentially, with 11.1.7 coming with this next reset, Blizzard has put out a little preview of this one-button feature that we previously covered. And for those of you who haven't heard of this at all, this is a feature that's intended for people who are unsure how to play their class. Maybe they're new to it, maybe they're new to the game in general. And there's two different ways to approach use of this. The first is that the next move in sequence that you quote-unquote should use, and that is based not on a written down, okay, use this, then this, then this, but by numbers interpreted by the game at that moment. The next move will be outlined in blue, and that will be like, hit this button next. And, you know, that's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that. The other way is something that a lot of people have misunderstood, myself included. Like I said, a lot of people have been calling it the one-button macro, and people have been kind of looking down their nose at it. because everybody just was assuming that you hit this button and it just plays your class for you and you don't do anything but watch it go through all your spells. That's apparently not the case. Instead of highlighting the next move you should use, you just hit this one button over and over, and it'll automatically cast the spell that corresponds to what it should be. Now, I still don't think this is a good thing, and I'll get to that in a second. So if you're curious about how the hell what this button looks like, where to get it, it is in your spell book. When the patch goes live, you'll be able to find it. It's in the upper right corner of the border, so it's not on one of the pages as a spell. And you just click it and drag it onto your bars. So while this is not what people had assumed, I still don't think it's a good thing. I mean, sure, you're not going to get people using this to perform optimally. You're not going to get people fucking smooth braining their way to the top of the charts. That's just not how it works, and it's not an easy to go button. But I feel like you're going to get some lazy fuckers out there who are just going to use this instead of bothering to learn their class. And because of that, you're going to end up with pugs and LFR and LFD groups that are just people using this, performing like shit because it includes an extra little delay in the GCD, which it damn well should, because it should not be, here, let me do it for you. I don't think everybody who uses this is going to use it as intended. I think some of them are going to give a shit. All they're gonna know is, hey, I get gear. I mean, fine, have it in there, but I don't think the one button is helpful to anybody. I don't think having one button that you look at that you don't even know what the spell you're casting is helps you learn a damn thing. That maybe I'm being elitist. I don't know. Maybe I am. Johnny, I'm gonna need you to tell me in a minute here. But, yeah, I'm gonna ask you in a second. One good thing about this is that it does have that built-in addition to the GCD, so nobody's gonna be spamming one button and making you look like a jackass doing better damage. Those who really want to push themselves won't be held back by people using robots to beat them. It's just, how well are your fucking dungeons gonna really go? How are they gonna go? I want to acknowledge, though, the intent here with Blizzard. They're doing this to try to make the game less daunting to a new player, and that intention, I think, is a good thing. What they said in the Blue Post, one of the many things they said, is both of these new should aid in lowering the barrier of entry for new players looking to explore new characters, or those who are looking for an accessibility option that opens the way to meaningful gameplay for them. As with the new cooldown manager added in the 11.15 content, it will continue to evolve over time. And you know what? It fucking well better evolve over time. I can see it from an accessibility standpoint. Like, if you, like... I'm trying to think of a scenario. If you can't see, if you have a really hard time seeing, like maybe you're legally blind and you know all you have to do is hit the next button and you'll go forward, and fine. I can see that. That enables people to play the game. But I think people are gonna fucking abuse it. I really do. The way I would approach that, and this doesn't exactly help the accessibility standpoint, but make it so the feature can only be used during such and such time period after you make a new tune. That way people can still use it to learn the class without Mr. Magooing into raids and being dead weight. And like, it's kind of like a training wheels thing in that regard. And then eventually you take the training wheels off, Dad lets go of the bike seat, and you don't know that. You think he's still behind you holding the bike seat, and then you look behind you and Dad's like 220 feet behind, and then you fall over because you're still learning how to ride the bike. That's actually a pretty decent analogy, I think. I don't know, Johnny, what do you think about this? Am I being elitist?
A little bit, but not really. I do share the sentiment that they're playing trapeze with the player base by doing this a little bit. I think they're on a really fine wire on how this ends up getting tuned, because if it ends up being too good, it just takes the whole game. basically, and they'll have to like hotfix it very quickly.
I definitely don't think it's going to be too good. That addition to the GCD,
I agree with first of all, I already know it's not going to be good enough because it doesn't push your cooldowns for you. It's only like your basic rotational abilities. So it's not really going to work for healers except maybe Disc Priest kind of. But still, you still need more than one button because you still got to apply and change target and click your friends and party members and raid members
mouse
to
over
put
macro, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You still have to do that, right? And macro that one ability into it, right? So it's not as and the GCD. I feel like the GCD penalty should be a little bigger, but not much bigger. And I think that'll kind of like soften it into the ground where it's not really going to be that beneficial for most people. I honestly think it's going to be a thing where it's going to be helpful for like people that are paralyzed maybe or are like recovering from an injury, or if there's some sort of other type of ailment and like ADA restrictions they're going through, and it's hard, like maybe they had spine surgery recently and they can only use their one finger, or if they can only use a toe or something like that, or if there's some other type of ailment that's afflicting somebody maybe. Or what if you just want to drink and like you want, like maybe it's going to make you want to try that class that you're like intimidated by, and you never like for me, I don't like rogue, and I don't like and there's a couple other classes I don't like hunters. I've never really played a hunter. I've never played a rogue.
Bad time for Gershom not to be on the show.
Like, I mean, I don't hate hunters, but I've never like gone out of my way to really play a hunter. I've only like played for like I boosted one I think like ages ago, and that was it. And I played for like 10 minutes, and I was like, I'm over this. And so, and there's other classes I could list here. Those are the first two top of my head that I've ever really taken the time to like learn or play as, right? So, like this would be something I would use to play those type of classes where I'm kind of like intimidated by them, or because it's like too much to manage, or I feel like it's it's too different from what I'm normally used to playing, and maybe it'll make it easier for me to jump into those other classes and kind of just to take a peek and to try it out, just take it for a spin, to try things out for once. What if I don't like? I've never really healed before for like once back in Motion Vaults, right? And maybe I want to try, Holy Priest or Resto Shaman or something like that, right?
Disc Priest is fun, just saying.
Exactly, something like that. Like if I ever wanted to try something like that, maybe this is something where maybe I don't just use the one button for it, maybe I use the one button and my cooldowns and like a couple other abilities that I know, like the spells or things like that I want to have in my bar to make it smaller, right? So it's easily more manageable for me to learn. So I feel like for that, it's great for that. Because there's some classes I'm just like, I'm too intimidated to even try them. I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want it. It looks too complicated, energy and combo. No, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like,
honestly, that's me with the Ellie Shaman, and I'm sure there's Ellie Shamans out there that are like,
a billion
really?
Talks everywhere. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Honestly, though, okay. I'm not saying the entire feature is a bad move. I'm saying I think the button opens the door for people to be lazy and abuse it for not what it's meant for. Like,
I could give a shit less about
really
that.
benefit.
Like, I'm more concerned with making botting easier for people to make bots and more bots overflowing the servers.
Oh shit, I hadn't even thought of that.
That was my concern. Not that obviously the people that do botting already have a workaround for this, but that it'll open the door to make it even dumbed down to make a bot. So you can literally just have a macro with this ability and like do some sort of basic macro, like cycling ability macro with a bot and make it easier to make bots, and then that'll proliferate them even further, right? And that's more what I was concerned with, more so than not proliferation. You like expanding
I get what
access, right? I'm that's more of my concern with the one button macro. The UI assist, I don't give a shit. I think that's fine. But the problem I have is that this is not the first thing on my agenda when in terms of improving the UI that I would take first. Like, this is not on my, like, wish list. Like, oh, I wish we had this. Like, this was not on my bingo card when they announced this, of things that I felt that were important to try to tackle first. You know what I mean? So either this was like an easy thing for them to implement first, and that was just by luck of the draw, or they have maybe there's like weird metrics from people. Maybe it's to like introduce to, maybe I can get my girlfriend playing WoW from the one button thing because she's like overwhelmed with all these abilities. I can be like, hey hun, why don't you try playing, like I showed her the classes the other week and she was like, oh, I want to play a paladin. I was like, yes, please, let's go. Like, so maybe with this one button thing, maybe that'll like, because she thought like a Draenei paladin looked really cool, and I was like, okay, I got you. We and those kinds of things are like.
I mean, I get you. I hear you there.
Just in general, maybe not necessarily that exact situation, but like, let's say you got a brother of yours or a cousin of yours that comes over and sees you playing WoW and is like, what the heck is this? I've never seen this before in my life. And you're like, oh, check it out, take it for a spin. And you show them the one button thing, they can just press the one button. Or whether it's a way for them to port it to a controller, maybe. Maybe this was like a Microsoft thing. They're like, this is a way to push a button in a controller. You just push the one button as your attack button.
I can just see a lot of healers getting pissed off because people are dying because they think all they have to do is hit one button over and over.
That too. I feel like the naming of it is bad too. Because it's only one button, they're all think, oh, I just use the one button then, and that's all I need. Ding, scroll, hunter, go, like, or fill in the blank class, right? Like, just use your scroll button and hit the one button thing. That's why I imagine people are going to take from this, and I don't think that's the intent of what they're doing here.
I do like that they are new players, which I think is good because I don't want this game that's been such a huge part of my life for so long to go away.
I think barrier of entry. I have one more thing to say.
Yeah.
I think the bigger problem with barrier to entry is the introduction to the game and retail side, and because classic takes too long for people. No one has the time to dedicate to do classic unless it really grips them right away. Like you're playing Skyrim or something like that, right? And yeah, they have those original cutscenes that are pretty gripping to this day. They're 20 years old. Those are great, but if you want a new audience, you need a better way of getting people invested into your story and keeping them interested in your story and making it make sense. You can't just drop them in fucking Borealis or Dorgal or freaking, Valdraken and be like, this is the story, go. It doesn't work that way. There's a whole world here and they're not going to understand because the way these expansions are, it's all like hubbed to whatever the new major city is, and it's like, that's where all the community is.
And
so
you're disconnected from that.
Yeah, especially when you start, and it's like, I liked originally when it came out with the Exiles Reach, but I felt like it was a little dry. And it was out of context a little bit. And I think context matters more now than ever.
Here's an idea. With each new expansion, you have a not just leveling campaign for previous level cap to new level cap, but a separate leveling campaign that for the first 10 levels or 20 levels if you're playing an allied race, let's first 20 levels to round it out. It's a recap of everywhere you've been so far, and they keep saying, no, first 10 levels is that recap. Then you level from, let's just say War Within place, you then level from 10 to 70 with a War Within related leveling campaign that leads you into the current expansion. So then by the time you are 70 and you go to Khazalgar, you're like, holy shit, Dalaran just exploded. You are already invested. That is what they
exactly.
need to do.
Like, I don't know about 20 levels. I would say 40. But like,
well, I mean,
everything.
I'm thinking of it from like a new player point of view. Like, if I'm a brand new player, I've never played WoW, you mean I've got to get to level 40 playing something that's not related to this stuff you're doing?
If level 70 is the cap, right? So let's say we go to level 80, like 1 to 40 compared to, and again, 1 to 40 shouldn't be that long, I feel like, these days, right? So if your level cap's 80, like half the level cap, you know what I mean? That, I feel like that would be like, maybe like a full recap, I would say up until Cataclysm. And then go from like Mop to Legion, or no, I would say, yeah, Classic to Cataclysm, Mop to Legion, BFA to Shadowlands, right?
But if you spread that out over too many many levels, you still have that same problem of the new player feeling disconnected from current content. That's why I think that recap should only go until level 10 or 20. Oh, actually, Allied Race. You can't play an Allied Race straight off the bat if you're a new player.
Yes.
So that recap to level 10, and then from 10 to, in this case, 70, a separate, fresh, new leveling campaign that is related, if only tangentially, to the War Within. So you are invested in this world you're getting into by the time you get to 70 and you go to Khazalgar.
You mean, are you talking like, I mean, I was thinking more, I just feel like it's too much to recap in 20 levels.
Well, I don't mean the entire breadth of the Warcraft universe. I mean from like maybe the previous expansion or
I'm talking the entire breadth.
Oh no,
WoW.
You can't possibly.
And 40. That's why I thought you meant. That's why I was disagreeing so hard. I thought you meant like. That's why I was saying 40 levels.
Yeah,
half
no,
the level
that
cap.
would need that many levels. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking classic to Dragonflight in 40 levels.
Okay, yeah, that's not what I meant. I meant
that's
more
what
like,
I'm saying. Like, and you could do it in a way where, you know,
I think starting with BFA is actually the good place to start the recap, because it was sort of a soft reset to the Horde Alliance conflict.
I don't think so, because when you're Alliance, you're just like, who's Jaina? And there's no like preface like, oh, this is Jaina. This is why you should care about her. Like, there's no like you don't care about any of these characters, and they're like, oh, she's getting sent to jail. Who are these people? What are Kulturians? Whatever, like Kultirans, right? As we know them, but like someone who's new that wouldn't know how to say it, right? So,
well, then that's something to explain in quest text. Like,
no, I know, but like people aren't
quest.
Doing that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you need to have it be
that,
like in-game, like not cinematic, but like, you know how they have to listen a while and listens, or they'll have like active like characters in-game talking, like while you're questing. Not like you have to sit and watch NPCs like talk for an hour, but like as you're doing shit, you know what I mean? Or like the little voiceover boxes that show up, you know, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm talking about.
I gotcha.
Or like the Demon Hunter starting show. Great example.
Oh yeah, do it like that, where it's got that like that cinematic, and it's like, hey, this is where the Demon Hunters came from. This is why they're doing this now. This is what they were doing while Illidan was getting his dick stomped in at Black Temple.
Yeah, and you could do those race storylines they've been doing and roll that in. So like, remember we had like the human one, and there was the undead one, and all of those. You could like have that be the capstone ending of like part of those quest lines, right? So like, you start as a human paladin, and you start over in Northshire Abbey or whatever, right? And you're like, I'm going through. You can go through the whole Westfall and the Defias, and you can do the whole Red Ridge Mountains, and like that could be your scenario.
Yeah.
And it ends with Dead Mines, and then you go and back to Stormwind, and you do the whole thing with Onyxia, and it's like a whole thing, right? And then that's like your first story arc in the game.
We are experiencing technical difficulties, motherfucker.
Here it is, guys, the reason the episode is late. From this point forward, Wooly's track got all fucked up. We've pulled the backup audio into it for the rest of the episode, so please bear with us if suddenly the background music and bumpers are all fuckered. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, myself included, did not understand the significance of killing Onyxia. We had no idea at the time that she had been impersonating a Stormwind noble.
Yeah.
We do need to move forward here.
Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna direct you to a note I put in host chat really quick. Those of you who are listening are like, whoa, he's saying stuff. Shut up. It's just about keeping the show rolling. Let's see. Really quick, Blizzard put out a short preview of the stuff that's coming in 11.17. Not all of it, of course. It's really more a teaser for the campaign you get to play through in the Legacy of Arathor patch that they're calling this. So this campaign is going to take place in Arathi Highlands, and the blue post reads as such: while attention has been focused on Khazalgar, a new enemy has risen in the Arathi Highlands, threatening to shatter the tenuous peace between Stromgarde and Hammerfall. Join Farron, Daneth Trollbane, for those of you who don't know who that is, and Gaara, of all people, odd, as they attempt to expose a conspiracy, diffuse tensions, and grapple with the legacy of Arathor. Experience this new storyline with branching viewpoints based on your character's faction as you brave the journey ahead. I want to interrupt this for a second and point something out. The Arathi are still around. Stromgarde is theirs by right. There is no reason it should be sitting empty or under control of the Alliance. Just saying. There's also a short story that Blizzard has released. It's called Faith and Flame. It's written by L.L. McKinney. That's not a name I'm familiar with. Hopefully it becomes one I'm more familiar with. This seems to take place before the events of 11.17, so it's probably worth checking this story out first. And if you don't want to or don't have time to read it, Blizzard also released an audio version that is narrated by none other than Paris Blue, who I believe, I may be wrong, is Farron's voice actor in the game. The post alongside this story says, since she was small, Farron Lothar has felt a call deep within her to brave the darkness. Now Farron feels that call again, compelling her to leave Halifal with Anduin and the Outlanders. Join Farron Lothar for a special fireside telling of our newest short story. So there you have it, folks. This actually sounds like it'll be a fun little piece of lore. Hell yeah. And Johnny just pointed out to me in our host chat that L.L. McKinney worked on Folks and Fairy Tales. Is that what the book is called? Folks and Fairy Tales? Something like that?
Folk and Fairy Tales of Azeroth, yeah.
Yeah. I do believe Gershom sent me a copy of that. It was either that or a different book. But
there's a couple of those, I think. A couple different versions of similar books like that. I remember there's some comics as well.
Yeah.
But this is the cover.
Okay, yeah, she sent me a different book. I remember hearing about this, though. I was working at a high school cleaning it and listening to recaps of the stories while I was cleaning. So, honestly, this little piece in 11.17, this campaign, I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm not usually one to look forward to stuff like that, but I think the way Blizzard is bringing the Arathi back when we thought they were just gone forever is fucking brilliant. I'm just gonna say it. And I'm interested as hell to see where that goes. Johnny, we got some news about Celestial Dungeons. You want to tell us what's going on?
Yes, I do. Now's the One little tidbit about the Celestial Dungeons, they're adding mounts, and it is exactly what you might think it is. It's the Celestials, the OG actual versions of them, finally.
I want.
So you can actually ride actual Zwen, or actual, Yuan, or Nuzal, or, all of them, the Crane, everybody. So, and they're going to be part of that whole system. They're currently costing 10 August stones, so the new currency they're doing for those, but it's actually not that bad because it's like you're going to get... It's sort of like, it reminds me of back in BFA when you had that currency. When you did Mythic Plus, kind of.
Fuck, what was...
But it's like, I forget what we were called, but it was like, but instead of like thousands of currency, it's like you get 3, you get 2, like maybe something costs 5 or 10, or like a piece of gear might cost 2 or 3. It's not gonna be crazy. We got farm for like a whole month to get like one piece of gear or something like that. If the mount only costs 10 right now, I can only imagine it's like maybe 2 pieces maybe for a piece of gear, and you're gonna get 3 per boss. So it's like, but it sounds really cool. And there's like weekly quest you're gonna get, and it's gonna give you the first one you do for the day, you get 4 fragments, and then every subsequent one on the same day, you get an extra 2 fragments. And in the daily quest, you get 3 more fragments. And these are like parts of a stone. You have to put X together to make one, and then you trade that in for X number of actual total whole stones to the vendor.
Wait, so the mounts don't cost fragments? They cost the whole stone?
Or, 10 August stone fragments, or whatever. But that might be because PTR.
I thought,
that might be a PTR thing. I'm assuming it's going to be 10 whole stones, is what my presumption's going to be for right now. Obviously, it might change because it's still PTR, and they're just testing stuff out. Who knows what it'll actually end up being. All these numbers might change, you know what I mean? So who the hell knows? But the ratio is like, that's what I'm looking at. So if you're getting like 2 per, each boss gives you 2, right, per player, right? And then the final boss go drop 3, right? So you don't skip anything. And then by completing the dungeon, you get an extra 4. So just doing one dungeon with 5 bosses, you're getting 10, and then you're gonna get 3, and then you're gonna get an extra 4. So that's 17 fragments. So doing one dungeon gives you a mount? I just don't know if that's really what they're going for here.
Maybe not.
I can't imagine that being... I feel like you're gonna put these stone fragments together to make a bigger stone, and then you trade in. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they're just like, here you go. Here are the mounts. You waited long enough for them. Here's a gimme for you. And apparently you're only getting LFR gear out of it anyway. So I feel like it's going to be pretty easy to get these. And I remember reading about it earlier where the whole Celestial Dungeon thing, you're going to have like special abilities in addition that you can choose.
You talk to them in the beginning and they're like,
yeah, there'll be a meta, obviously, right?
I think it's worth pointing out the thing about the crane being an achievement, not buying. Or did you already say that? I'm sorry, I got a little bit distracted by my cat being an asshole.
Yeah, there's a Satchel of Celestial Chance. Yeah, the Celestial riding Tiger, Celestial riding Ox, Celestials riding Serpent, and Celestial riding Crane. The Tiger, Ox, and the Serpent are a random chance from when you buy a Satchel of Celestial Chance, and those cost 10 each. And the Crane is an achievement from the Pandaria Celestial Hero. And you're gonna get that from finishing every Celestial dungeon. So if you complete each of the dungeons in Celestial mode, you'll get the Crane, right? And then if you did the other 2 are like the Tiger and the Ox, the Zal, those are gonna be like random chance out of these little satchels you buy for 10 a pop. So that makes
that
way
does
more
make-
sense.
Yeah, it does.
That's why it kind of drain them if you get it from the satchel.
Right.
So that's why it's easily
Not
farmable to get
guaranteed.
to 10. It's not like a 10 hole that you're gonna just buy. Okay. Yeah, so you're gonna get a chance on these special satchels you're gonna sell for this vendor, right? You do the dungeon, you get like however many stones you get. You put 10 of them, you pop them in a vendor. It gives you like a special little satchel of goodies. You're gonna pop it open, and there's gonna be a chance that it'll spawn and give you a mount. So I feel like that's gonna be like when people are gonna be farming those celestial dungeons, trying to get those mounts for the tiger and the ox. Whereas the crane's guaranteed via achievement, and then I don't see anything for the Yulon one.
Yulon, I can't remember.
No, the serpent also part of the satchel.
Yulon
So
is
really,
serpent.
Yeah, so the three of them are from the random chance from the satchel, and then the crane's guaranteed from the celestial hero, which is you complete all the celestial dungeons once on a character, and then you get the mount. And then the other ones are just random chance gamba on spending those 10 August stone fragments that you get from doing these dungeons. So I feel like most of the time in Classic you're gonna be farming these, and you're gonna get so instead of LFR, this is kind of their answer to no longer having a slot to put the LFR gear into. So all of the pieces of gear that would have been given in LFR, apparently those are basically going to drop from these dungeons essentially, like that eye level range, right? So what used to be LFR gear is going to drop out of these celestial dungeons, effectively.
That makes sense, yeah.
It sounds pretty cool.
If they're gonna get rid of LFR, they gotta put that gear somewhere.
And apparently, the daily quest will never be the same celestial dungeon 2 days in a row, and there's going to be a cap on how many fragments you can have at first. But they're going to increase it each raid that comes out. So when Motion Volts comes out, there'll be one cap, and then when Heart of Fear comes out and the celestial dungeons get released, there'll be a new cap.
What the
and
hell?
so on and so forth for Terrace, Throne of Thunder, and Siege.
What is the first raid in MOP?
Motion Vaults, Heart of Fear, Terrace of the Endless Spring. It was all one tier. Heart of Fear and Terrace shared tier gear. And then Motion Vaults didn't have any tier gear. It was like the entry level raid, I'm trying to think of an example, like High Mall, or they haven't done this in a while. I don't think they haven't done it. I think it was High Mall the last time. Emerald Nightmare, High Mall. This raid, Motion Vaults. I'm trying to think of another raid where they did that, where it was like an intro raid for the expansion.
All right, do you mean like one raid for the first raid tier, and then you do?
No, so back in MOB, they started doing this thing. Okay, did Bastion of Twilight have tier? I don't remember if it did or not.
I think it did. That was the first Kata raid, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was tier 11.
They also had a couple smaller. They did that stupid thing where they were like
Alakir or whatever, maybe the Alakir one, or the Throne of the Four Winds or whatever.
What I think is silly, like not to leave that thread hanging in the wind like so many balls without pants on. That analogy didn't work, but I think it's a little odd to put a cap on these fragments at all, because from what I've read, it doesn't look like you're capped on how many you can farm up. You're capped on how many you can hold. So you can just continuously buy these bags over and over and over. Here's my 10 silly coins. Give me one satchel, please. It just seems weird to cap how many you can hold if you're not going to cap how many you can farm up.
There's probably some weird reason where they don't want you to like overly spam the vendors maybe at once. But there was one other thing I remember. I think they're gonna wait 2 weeks after each raid tier to unlock these dungeons. I think.
All I know is I want
think-
that tiger.
Yeah.
And honestly, so in MOP, I was playing, I don't remember the spec, I was playing a DK at the time. I might make a DK for MOP Classic, or I might just say fuck it and make a Warlock, I don't know.
And remember, you're going to have Valor Point gear and Justice Point gear on top of that. So you have Justice Point gear, you got Valor Point gear, you're going to have the Celestial items from Ocean Vaults, and you're going to have the Celestial Chance Satchels. And you have reroll tokens, because don't forget, back in MOP, that was the reroll expansion where you could roll on gear. Yeah, so when you killed a boss, you could roll the Lesser Charms of Good Fortune, or whatever they were called, and you could like roll those when you kill the boss to try again to see if you get any.
Well, that was when they started doing those
drops.
stupid loot rules where it's like personal loot only because we don't trust players to distribute loot normally. Like, fuck off. I'm glad.
Well, bonus roll was separate, I think. It was like a separate thing. You would get, like, if it was personal loot, you could click a bonus roll and roll again.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was but obviously it's not gonna be greed before need or need before greed or whatever, right? It's
I
not
do
gonna be
like
that.
need before greed.
Unless you can opt into that, obviously, but that still existed. Just no one did it because you had personal loot options, and I'll never forget Puggy and Wad, and people would just steal gear. They would do a whole run on Mythic, and then for like one boss, and then they would just take the loot and leave.
This
Straight
is
up.
not at all related to what we're talking about, but we both have extensive play of Warlocks. The Green Fire quest, I completely forgot that was part of Mists.
Oh yeah, and that came out right when Terrace came out, I think.
So
It was right around the end of that first tier. I think it was like 5.04. Or either that or it was like, because you have to remember, Throne of Thunder didn't come out all at once. It was like stepped.
Oh, like
it was like
at a time, kind of like
there was a whole quest line and dailies, and there was a whole rep you had to go through, and you didn't just get access to the island. You had to like go to the island and then work your way closer and closer for several weeks to even unlock the world boss or to even try and get into there. Like, because it was by your server or realm, I think too. And it was like based on how fast you did it. It was a whole thing. I remember vividly like having to like play every week. And then there was the whole Trove of the Treasure King. Trove of the Thunder King scenario. That was so freaking cool, dude.
Like with this Green Fire thing, because people are going to be able to play it at level again. Although it won't be exactly the same because we've cut this from the show for time, but there are some changes coming to the way the classes played just because of some technical limitations of the time. But we're gonna be able to do the Green Fire quest line. Why not iterate on it a little bit? You get your Green Fire as a Warlock, cool, respect. You managed to do the hard thing. Why not also give Warlocks like a Fellfire Cloud Serpent when they unlock that? How badass would that be?
Yulon's kind of green, but it's not the same thing, obviously.
I'm talking.
Oh, you're talking like
okay,
let's say again the Cloud Serpent or
Cloud Serpent. Picture take the Cloud Serpent like look, right? Apply a skin to it that is similar to the Fell Drake, where it's like black, but it's got green around the edges and like little jets of green fire coming off of it. Imagine that.
I would say instead of making like the Celestial one, but instead of Celestial stuff, it's like the whole dragon's fire, like you know what I mean, like where it's like the Void one, but make it like Fell green.
Void, but make it green.
Instead of
or blood red. Void and blood. No,
Void and blood. Yeah.
Okay, we should move forward. Okay, God, I swear, when we get started talking about this game, we never shut up. We love this game so much. I'm so glad you joined this show, man. We have some.
I'm sorry for the tangents.
What's that?
Sorry for the tangent on that one. I get a
Never
little long-winded.
apologize for loving this game. Never. All right, let's move on to some trivia.
Trivia?
Head of the class and eater of ass. Anyway.
What is this?
All right, so this is not so much head of the class, eater of ass in the traditional sense. So here's the thing. I have a bunch of Father's Day themed Warcraft questions here that originally, when I came up with them, was just going to be typical trivia, head of the class, eater of ass, with me asking the questions and Johnny and Gershom answering them. However, after I came up with them, I remembered, shit, I have Father's Day stuff to do. But, so then I sent them to Gershom, and she's just like, I'll just quiz Johnny, it'll be fine. I'm like, neat. But then my aunt got shingles, rip. Not rip, she's not dead.
Not really,
I hope she feels better quick. So those plans got canceled, so now here I'm on the show again, and then Gershom's microphone, her microphone bit the dust. So I find myself in a position where I'm just, quizzing Johnny on these lore questions with Father's Day dad-related stuff. Ironically, the only member of the show who is not a parent. Are you ready to answer those questions?
I will attempt.
All right. I'm not going to keep score. It'll just be fun answer question.
Yeah.
So,
it's nap time.
Theme, Dads in Warcraft. Question 1.
Dads in Warcraft.
These first 2 questions are possibly easy, possibly not. I don't know. What is Thrall's son's name?
Oh, shit.
This is the kind of thing that, you're like, oh.
There was a short story about him, too, and I was like, because he kills the,
and he appears
the
in
white
game
serpent
as well.
thing. Yeah, he's in game as well. Grumkar? No.
Nope. His name is Durak.
Durak, okay.
He and his sister show up in the orc heritage armor.
Durak, yeah. Yes.
Question 2. What is Thrall's daughter's name? Oh, you know that one even less, you sexist bastard.
Agrala?
Nope.
I know Agris is wife, but maybe I just assumed that.
Her name is Reza. R-E-A.
Oh, Reza. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right.
I think she was in game 2. I think
she was. She was in that same quest line.
Okay, yes.
Fun fact, she and Durak both have brown skin. Neither of them have the fell taint left. Question 3. Varrock Sarfang. Varrock? Is that how you said his name? Sarfang. Okay. That old soldier that... God, I would follow that orc into hell. I would. His son was forced into undeath to become Deathbringer Sarfang in Icecrown Citadel back during Wrath of the Lich King. What was Deathbringer Sarfang's name in life? His first name?
Draenosh.
Yes. What does Draenosh mean in Orcish?
I don't fucking know.
Called him Draenosh. It means Heart of Draenor.
Oh, okay.
God, I'm a fucking nerd. Question 4. So, remember Duratan from Alternate Draenor?
Yeah.
What's his daughter's name? Not our Duratan, that Duratan. Remember, this is a bit of a trick question.
Duratan's daughter?
Yep, alternate Duratan's daughter.
Alternate or a real one?
Alternate Duratan, his daughter. Biologically, she is.
It's Thrall, but it's not Thrall. It's like
It's his sister, sort of.
Yeah. Kiara?
Yep, Overlord Gaara.
Because she's in the short story, and she's the one that she runs the Maghars. The Maghar orcs. Yeah.
The Maghar orcs.
Thank you. Yeah.
And honestly, I wish they explored more of what has to be the complicated relationship between her and Thrall. Because biologically, they're siblings, but they're not siblings because their parents...
From different dimensions, yeah.
I want lore walking on that. I want lore walking on Thrall and Giara getting closer and accepting each other as siblings, even though they're sort of not. Question 5.
I feel like we're just going to get that in game, bro. I feel like we're just going to get that in game. I don't know if they're going to do a lore walking on that.
Well, sure. But either way, I want it addressed. Question 5.
Right.
He is no longer considered canon, but what is Medivh's son's name?
Medan.
Easy, low-hanging.
Yeah, easy. Low-hanging fruit on that one. That's like the retcon of the year on that one. That was on that year.
I'm not happy that they decided he's not canon anymore. He could have been...
He's too powerful.
Oh, what the fuck ever.
Right. I'm like, power level. It was like, it sounds so fucking Marvel.
If he's too fucking powerful, then have a storyline where he loses some of his power. It's not fucking hard.
Yeah, like you could do whatever the fuck you want, but they had the jailer though. They did the jailer, but like Medan's too powerful. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And Medan's at least a fucking compelling character, unlike the jailer. Okay, question 6. Alexandros Mograine had 2 sons. Which one of them is responsible for corrupting the Ashbringer?
Darien's sons, right?
What? No, this is Alexandros Mograine. He had 2 sons. One of them is responsible for corrupting the Ashbringer. Which one of them?
There's Renault?
It was, in fact, Renault. How did he corrupt the Ashbringer?
I thought he fucking, he was manipulated by Balnazar, wasn't he? No, that was Alexandros. And I'm pretty sure... what the fuck?
Side note, I really wish they had made more of Alexandros in Shadowlands. They did a fair amount with him, but I feel like they could have done more.
I don't remember what the hell he did, but I just remember it was either Darien or Renault. I remember they were the 2 siblings. I just didn't. I wasn't sure, and the only reason I even remember that is because I knew Darien from the 4 Horsemen quest line.
So
right, so that's the only, and from the Death Knight starting zone or whatever. That's the only reason I even remember that Renault was the other one, right? So
Renault corrupted the Ashbringer by twisting the nature of the light to heal and keep order, and using this light-soaked, light-imbued weapon to murder his father.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay,
that is what corrupted.
That tracks. Yeah, that makes sense now because because he went back to go kill him because what the heck was it? Dathrhan, aka Balnazar, right? I'm pretty sure he manipulated him with Kel'Thuzad, right? It was like a whole...
I don't know if I'm remembering this right or not, but doesn't that sort of come up a little bit in the Red Path quest line in Eastern Plaguelands?
In current WoW or in Classic?
I don't remember.
I just remember there was the crazy one where you go into... There's the Battle of Darrowshire, right? That's Captain Red Path, right? And then there's the one where you go into the Scarlet area and you to do straight up you have to escort him across the whole fucking zone.
Because Renault did become a high-ranking... No, I'm thinking of a different character. Never mind. Anyway, question the 8th. This one might be sort of hard, and it's related to what I was just about to say. There was once a High Lord of the Scarlet Crusade named Talon. Who is Talon's father? Hint, he's dead now.
Oh, I just talked about it. It's the one you're like there in the quest line when he kills his dad, I'm pretty sure.
I do not believe Talon killed his own father.
It wasn't.
I know for a fact Talon did not kill his own father.
It wasn't Talon.
I'm asking who Talon's father is. High Lord of the Scarlet Crusade, Talon last name.
Fucking Tyrion, right?
Tyrion. It is in fact Tyrion.
Okay, he's a forging, right? He's like Taylor. Yeah.
Forging.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one you have to escort his ass.
Oh yeah, that's right. What?
It's the Tyrion questline from
fucking Dragonblight, wasn't it?
No. In Eastern Plaguelands.
Yeah, you're right.
No, Western Plaguelands. I'm sorry, Western. North of
something.
Herfglen. I fucking died on this quest and saw it, bro. It was like I tried doing it, early, at level. I was trying to fucking. Dude, I fucked up, bro. I was like,
I don't even do escort quests. They're just the fucking worst.
It was the worst, dude. And he goes so far, dude. He goes from in the Tower of Herfglen through the whole fucking castle and goes all the way, I want to say, to where Tyrion is in Classic at his little house in Eastern Plaguelands. So I'm pretty sure you have to escort him the whole fucking way.
And you kill these random ass mobs that happen to be there, and then the ones that spawn that you have to deal with. By the time they're dead, the mobs you killed have respawned, so now you have to kill them again. I hate escort quests.
It was the worst. Thankfully, he actually helps you kill shit, and he's like an elite, so he's pretty OP. So. But you can't let him die, so it's like, fuck.
The easiest escort quest in the entire game. By the way, to make escort quests work, have them tied to you. Make them go at your speed. Don't have to follow them. The best escort quest in the game is, because it's so fucking short, is fucking Yrel in the Warlords of Draenor intro.
Yeah.
You walk her down a hallway, and then she's like, oh, okay, thanks, I guess. I've got it from here. We're in the dangerous part now, so you can fuck off. All right, 2 more questions, and then we gotta... I can hear my child screaming.
You gotta zip tie off.
I gotta zip tie off. Question 9. What were Tyrannus Menethil's last living words spoken to his son, Arthas?
What are you doing, my son?
Arthas? What are you doing? See, I was hoping to catch that as like a trick question where you'd say, no king rules forever, but he was a ghost when he said that.
Yes, he was dead, and I had just watched that cutscene recently. That's the only reason why I remember. I just watched that cutscene.
Released from Frostmourne when Tyrion shattered it.
Yeah.
The last question here. I don't expect you to get this, because there's no fucking way I would have known this. What was the name of Gen Greymane's father? Just his first name.
No fucking clue,
Who
dude.
the fuck would know that? His name was Archibald.
Oh!
Archie Greymane.
Archie Greymane.
Sitting in his chair in the middle of the room, calling everyone meathead, fucking complaining about the times changing, and I don't know. Fuck you, Archie. Yeah, that was
like, he's not even in game either. Like, how would anyone even fucking know that? You know what I mean? Like, that's so crazy.
That was an Archie Bunker reference I just made, if anyone doesn't understand. Anyway.
I wonder...
What?
I wonder if he was part of the whole Alterac.
I don't know. Might have been. Final thoughts?
Archie Greymane. That's no. Be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Be cozy with your loved ones. Happy Father's Day, and take a nap. It's nap time.
My final thought.
It's that time.
My final thought then is, the good fathers out there, happy Father's Day. The bad fathers out there, you know who you are, even if you won't admit it to yourself. Examine your shit. Examine your shit. Think about what you're doing to your children.
Stop the cycle.
My other final thought is Void and Blood. All right, go ahead and follow us in the social places. You can find the various proper spellings of all these handles in the episode description. I am at Wooly08 on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky, and at Wooly_08 on TikTok. Gershom is at Hunter Gershom on Twitter, and at Hunter Gershom with 2 R's on Instagram. Boomy is at Boomy Nation on Twitter and YouTube, and pretty much any social place that he might have. Johnny is Johnny.tips on Discord or at Johnny.tips on Instagram. And then, of course, Craig, our very part-time 5th co-host and mascot of the show, is at Craig Addict on Twitter. Then, of course, the show is at Thrall's Balls Pod on Twitter and on Insta. Email us with any feedback or questions, thrallsballspodcast@gmail.com. Leave us feedback on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on Discord. Go to thrallsballs.com to find our link tree. Find all our links there. Bye, we love you, be good.